To security now, as the military intensifies its bombardment of Boko Haram strongholds in northeast Nigeria, a coordinator of the National Information Center, Mr. Mike Omeri, has asked Nigerians to be more vigilant to intercept fleeing members of the sect. Addressing journalists in Abuja, Mr. Omeri said some of the terrorists, it has been discovered, have taken up menial jobs as cover against security operatives. He also confirmed the recapture of more towns in the northeast by Nigerian troops, supported by the regional multinational force.
Nigerian troops have recaptured the towns of Monguno and Malti, among several others, while military operations are continuing at other locations in the area. However, and this is important, because of the heavy bombardments of various Boko Haram hideouts, there has been massive dispersal of these elements to various locations, including the numerous IDP camps, from where many of them have been fished out and are arrested. Therefore, it is advised that we still maintain high level of vigilance, since they are moving out of their comfort zones. They could choose to relocate in country to other areas. So please, our countrymen and women and the media should be alert. If you see any new face, if you see any new journalists in town, if you see any small business around the corner, try to interact to find details of the genuineness of their businesses, or they are coming to town, because they could be potential terrorists. After all, like we have always said, they are embedded with the good people.
Coordinator of the National Information Center, Mr. Mike Omeri. And the Nigerian military has given strong assurance of securing the country against Boko Haram attacks during and after the general elections. This comes as Boko Haram leader Abubakar Shekau released a video online threatening to disrupt the general elections. The Director of Defense Information, Major General Chris Olukolade, told Channels Television today that military operations against the sect will continue no matter the threats. He played up success of the military in Mungono and other towns in Borno State as proof of Nigeria's determination to quash Boko Haram. Meanwhile, nearby Gombe State remains under a 24-hour curfew following the military's repelling of an attack by Boko Haram over the weekend. No specific casualty figures have been released, but the military says it was a major victory against the insurgents.
Their intention to overrun locations and do daring attacks was frustrated, and they had to flee. It was in the course of their flee that we recovered the leaflets they intended to come and distribute. And so that intention was really not achieved, and the order was restored in a very short time. It gave us opportunity to also pursue after them. We believe that that attempt must have also cost them a lot.
Yobe State Governor Ibrahim Gaidam says sustaining community vigilance will no doubt bring to an end a problem of insurgency currently bedeviling the nation's northeast. He was speaking in Damaturu, the state capital, while sympathizing with victims of recent bomb blasts that killed 10 people at the Damaturu Central Motor Park. 86 victims were taken to the hospital with various degrees of injuries. Our correspondent, Gimba Umar, reports.
Victims of the Damaturu bomb attack receiving treatment in the intensive care unit here in Nguru. Some more have been referred to the Kano Specialist Hospital. All those brought to the hospital were treated free of charge. Sadly, though, the death toll has increased from an initial 8 to 10. Alarmed by the volatile situation, the governor urges the people to be cautious at all times.
The prayers to the Almighty Allah to bring to an end this kind of insurgencies and rascalities. People believe that if they die through the bomb blast, they will go directly to Al-Jannah. It is a very wrong notion, and it's unfortunate, it's condemnable, and there is no religion in this world which preaches that if you kill somebody or some people through a bomb blast, you will directly go to Al-Jannah.
For now, the government has asked the State Emergency Management Agency to step in and take an inventory of the losses for adequate compensation. Meanwhile, the governor has condemned the suicide bombing, saying that terrorism now appears to have become part of our society. Perhaps this is a wake-up call for the security forces to double up efforts to end the menace in the northeast. Gimba Umar for Channels Television News.
We turn our attention now to Rivers State, where the last has not been heard of the APC rally that was disrupted by explosions and shootings by known gunmen yesterday. While the APC and the PDP in a war of words as to who masterminded the attack, the police commissioner in the state tells Channels Television in an exclusive interview that his command will get to the root of the matter. Our correspondent Emmanuel Iri reports.
The governorship candidates of the All Progressives Congress APC and the People's Democratic Party PDP in warm embrace at a recent peace parley in Port Harcourt, Rivers State, in a show of support for violence-free elections. But all that appears to have gone in flames, no thanks to the recent violence in Okrika that disrupted the APC rally, resulting in one death and many injured, including our senior correspondent Charles Eruka.
Some of the attackers who have been looting the property of the people providing the public address systems now surrounded me and tried to take my phone away from me on the suspicion that I was actually calling reinforcements to come pick them up. So in the scuffle, I got stabbed in the neck.
The APC governorship candidate, Mr. Dakuku Peter's side, points accusing fingers at a PDP member of the Rivers State House of Assembly.
Several eyewitnesses saw a member of the State House of Assembly accompanied by men in police uniform and several other non-uniformed armed men, numbering in excess of 50 around the venue. He was seen personally directing the shooting.
The man accused of masterminding the attack says he's innocent.
How can Dakuku, can he prove, did he have the clip where I led the boys into the arena? Or is he trying to score a cheap political point? Or is he looking for a Okrika sympathy? I don't understand. How can I, at my person? I have not done that, and there's no way I would do such.
The police command in the state is also in the mix. The commissioner of police tells us that the culprits will not escape the arm of the law.
I want to show the good people of this country that the police are resolute and determined to ensure that we will go into the root cause of what has happened. We will not fear anybody that is responsible for whatever, because the law does not respect anybody.
There are fears that there may be more trouble in the days ahead unless the political tension in the state is brought under control and steps taken to calm frayed nerves.
The voice of our correspondent Loretta Chogo on the violence in Okrika yesterday. Meanwhile, the People's Democratic Party has dissociated itself from any form of violence ahead of the general elections, while condemning the disruption of the APC rally in Okrika, Rivers State yesterday. The National Publicity Secretary, Mr. Pt.2, said his party does not and will not encourage anyone to resort to violence for the sake of winning elections.
We believe that party members are not involved. That's the home state of our First Lady, our beloved First Lady. And we know that our people, nobody that is supporting PDP will want it to be said nationally or anywhere that the home state, the local government of the First Lady is not peaceful. So we believe that the people that did this are not supporters. They are agents of destabilization, agents of opposition, and we charge the law enforcement agencies to go ahead, do their work, fish out these people, find out the people that did this, and let Nigerians know the truth. We think it's a calculated attempt. It was an orchestrated campaign of violence, targeted at just maybe a smear campaign on the image of the First Lady. That's all. That's what we believe, and that's what happened.
Now, staying with political violence, the main opposition party, the All Progressives Congress, has accused the ruling PDP of capacity for violence as it has control of all security agencies in the country. In an interview with Channels Television, the National Publicity Secretary, Mr. Lai Mohammed, said the Bauchi State attack on the convoy of President Goodluck Jonathan is not from his party. In the meantime, President Goodluck Jonathan is in Lagos. The Air Force One that brought the president touched down around 5:10 this afternoon. Some members of the People's Democratic Party were on hand to receive him. Dressed in a brown kaftan and red cap, the president later boarded a chopper to the State House in Marina. The president is said to be visiting the commercial hub to commission 4 newly acquired naval warships for the Nigerian Navy. That's the NNS Centenary, NNS Opabana, NNS Prosperity, and NNS Sabama. We'll be doing this tomorrow. A future of Africa's media lies in visionary leadership and collaboration. This was voiced by the chairman, CEO of Channels Television, Mr. John Momo, at the ongoing Association of International Broadcasters Conference in London. In his keynote paper on Africa's media future, Mr. Momo reflected on the industry's trajectory on the continent and made recommendations on how the much-anticipated digital switchover can be maximized. Our correspondent in London, Doris Okenwa, reports.
Media organizations and regulatory bodies have converged on central London for the Association of International Broadcasters Conference. Here, attention is being paid on the changing landscape of broadcasting, how best to engage with the digital revolution and its emerging audience.
Imagine once that is lost.
The internet and alternative platforms have greatly transformed the media landscape, compelling traditional broadcast forms to rethink its place in the digital era. Africa has been counting down to making the switch from analog to digital broadcast, but it takes money and technological efficiency. A keynote address from Mr. John Momo, Chairman CEO of Channels Television, co-organizers of the conference, gives key international media players and potential investors an insight into the opportunities that abound on the continent, particularly in the digital market space, but adds that the potentials of the digital platform cannot be realized without strong leadership.
The critical success factors that is needed in the African continent has to do with leadership, strong leadership, effective communication strategy, sufficient finances, strong technology partners, ability to use the digital dividend, detailed action plan, and a successful digital ecosystem. What is missing now is for someone to be able to aggregate the opportunities and all that is available.
Broadcasters need fresh ideas to compete with new contents being generated from alternative platforms.
Quality programming, that's what it all boils down to. Quality programming, stories well told, stories that are exciting, stories that people want to hear.
Let's face it, broadcasting in general is in crisis. The old platforms, the legacy platforms, are saturated in terms of their attractiveness to audiences, and we've got to move on, and that is presenting a lot of challenges, and I think those challenges are being very well addressed these 2 days.
So I'm interested in what can be done in Africa with the advance of technology and with presumably smaller budgets to do something that's a little bit different from the route that has been so well trodden in the northern hemisphere.
Politics have also served in some ways as a deterrent to harnessing media potentials in Africa. The Nigerian media, for instance, have been in the eye of the storm as tensions simmer over the general elections.
We're not deterred. We'll continue. What I keep trying to emphasize to them is that Channels is an independent organization. We do not do the bidding of any political party. I I am not a politician as the owner of Channels TV, and nothing in this world will make me pander to any of the two parties.
A general consensus here is that the media in Africa will be the driving force of the industry, but issues of finance, politics and leadership cannot be overlooked. Doris Okenwa, Channels Television News, London.
And when the News at 10 returns, House of Representatives sets up special committee to look into the 2015 federal budget. We have details in business news. Please join us again.